And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We're live at the Vault here in downtown. Make sure I got my lapel turned on there, line. Downtown Blue Ridge. We've got the fire going. Come on down, full breakfast menu, hot coffee on this storm, a big storm predicted somewhere all around the south. And several areas of Georgia are going to be different accumulations. But we're going to speak now. We're happy to have straight from the command center here in Fannin County, Robert Graham, EMA Director, and Zach Ratcliff, Public Works Director. Gentlemen, thank you for coming straight from the command center here. How are you today?
Doing good, and thank you for having us this morning.
Just whoever wants to start in from roads, what we're preparing for from the EMA side. You just left the command center with a meeting, Chairman Stan Helton and everybody out there. What can the citizens of Fannin County and a lot of people in North Georgia expect out of this storm, and what are you seeing?
Okay. Last report from the Weather Service indicates that we should see some snow start moving in around 1 p.m., between 1 and 4 p.m. this afternoon, with the very heavy snowfall probably after midnight, as much as maybe possibly 4 and possibly more than 4 inches of snow. Then the temperatures are going to drop below freezing and pretty much stay below freezing all weekend, with actually some single-digit temperatures on Sunday morning and wind chill factors possibly below zero. So we are making preparations. We've got a couple of warming shelters identified. They're not actually open, but
they're identified.
Yes.
So let's be clear, we have warming shelters identified, ready to go.
Yes.
And can you share which ones those are and how people can get the information knowing, and we'll get it out to Fetcher News as soon as we can, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
Our warming shelters that we've got identified right now are the McKaysville Church of God and the First Baptist Church of Blue Ridge. And we will notify the public by radio, media, we'll notify all the media, and also through our Nixle alert system if we do need to open a warming shelter, if we find that there's a need. We've also been in contact with the American Red Cross in the event that we did need to open a full-blown shelter. I don't expect that to have to happen, but we're prepared for it if necessary.
Preparation is, an ounce of preparation, right? So getting ready from the command center. Let me, before we go back to that, let me just switch gears a little bit. Roads, what do you want to tell citizens about as the accumulation cold, the difficulty of clearing the roads? What are the priorities on roads? So share a little bit with us on some of the highways and what you have planned.
Of course, the state takes care of all state roads. The county, like Astor Road, Mobile, Old Highway 76, one, goes across the dam through there. Those will be priorities. Out in the Mobile area, big priority. Sugar Creek, stuff like that. We've got salt. We've got 300 tons of salt on hand, ready to go, and we'll be putting that down. We're gonna try to put some motor graders on, as quick as possible. We're gonna try to get this thing going as quick as we can.
So you have now. You just said what? 300 tons?
300 tons of salt.
Okay, is that a lot? I mean, I just don't know. So that's well prepared,
Yeah,
and there's a game plan in place.
Definitely, yeah.
And is there a way you set the road priorities, or?
Pretty much. We're going to have to look at the weather situation, and things happen in one place more than we would other places. We just have to look at it as it comes, but there'll be some folks out there looking at it.
Some safety tips as far as what people at home should prepare for. How do you prepare at home? Some of those things that they need to know.
Everybody should make sure they have plenty of heating fuel or an alternate heat source, plenty of food and water. Don't forget your medicines, and don't forget your pets. Prepare for them too. And we recommend preparing for at least 3 days, of food supply and medicine and water, just in case, because of these extremely cold temperatures. Could lose power, may not be able to get to the grocery store over the weekend and stuff. So just be prepared. Make sure you have blankets and flashlights available in case power goes out. That being said, this event, we're not expecting a lot of power outages. We're not expecting an ice event in our area. We're expecting more just regular snow. So hopefully we won't get a lot of power outage from it.
Mr. Ratcliff, let me ask you this as far as preparing, like he said, getting ready for the storm. What does it mean that, how important is it to you, everybody in these counties, that the governor has already thought ahead and put a state of emergency in place to handle that? What do people out there wondering, what good was the state of emergency? What does it do? How helpful is that?
Right now, we're kind of on that part, but if we need the help, it's out there. We can call up and, whatever help we need from the state or wherever,
I understand a state of emergency allows, there's several facets to it, but it allows you to tap state equipment if you need to ask for it to come in. Is that
That's
correct?
correct, yes.
That's the
They
first help.
Yeah, they have a lot of different resources. There's a DART team, which is a disaster assistance response team, the
Right.
EMS in our region. The Department of Natural Resources and Georgia Forestry Commission both have chainsaw crews that can send strike teams out in case there were trees and things down like that. Just all sorts of different resources that are made available when he declares a state of emergency for the state.
Can I, just for curiosity, when people hear we're at the command center and you just came from the command center, there might be people out there saying, what's the command center? Can you tell us a little bit about the command center? Who all shows up? What is the briefing? How's it work?
Okay. It's at the 911 center. We have a conference room there. It's the command center is actually called the EOC, or Emergency Operations Center. We have access to the internet, computers. We're right next door to the dispatch center, so we have access to all the communications going on between the different agencies, and we're in constant communication with other agencies. And usually it's a representative from the commissioner's office. Most of the time it's the chairman, myself, the public works director, the fire chief, different government agencies, and we coordinate from there any response or actions that need to be taken to.
So every agency is coordinated and everybody knows, it's like a huddle and break, and everybody knows what the game plan is when you leave that. Just to recap, and I know you guys got to go, we don't want to keep you guys got to get prepared with your team for what comes. What is the possibility that you're hearing of accumulations? And run that by us one more time by the national weather and who you are connected with, and some temperatures, how long? Just run that by us again one more time.
Last report said 1 to 4 inches with higher accumulations in certain areas, in individual spots and stuff. No ice accumulation that we're talking about. No, I don't think we're going to get any rain. It's all going to be in the form of snow here. And it should begin around 1 p.m., but the majority of the heavy snow is probably going to be coming in after midnight.
And the difficulty is the temperatures dropping for roads.
Exactly.
And that's the struggle. And we're looking at low temperatures probably all the way up into Sunday that could.
Monday even.
Huh?
Monday even.
So do you want me to break it to them, or do you want to break it to them? There might be some people working the weekend. They are. Gentlemen, one more time, the warning centers. The warming centers have been identified, and that means they've been identified, ready to go. But you're going to have, if you have a problem out there, how do they contact or keep up or whatever? If their power goes out and they lose heat,
If it's in an emergency situation, they can dial 911, obviously.
Right.
There's also a non-emergency number if you have a specific question or need some help, but it's not really a true emergency. And that number is 706-632-6022.
Okay, here at fyntv.com, we were going to get this up immediately so it can be shared. So you can get this information also if you want to share it with friends, if you're watching live. It'll be on our YouTube channel, FYNTV YouTube. Also at fetchernews.com. We will keep up with the emergency situation. And yes, if you're at home and you lose power, if you lose power and you lose heat, what? What are the warming centers? Again?
Okay.
Oh, where they at? All right.
Warming centers are at the McKaysville Church of God on Highway 5, right at the McKaysville city limit, and the First Baptist Church here in Blue Ridge. If we need to open additional centers, we can use fire stations,
Right.
and other churches in different locations. But at this time, we're just identifying those two. In the past, we've very rarely had to send anybody to a warming center.
They're identified, they're ready, and if you lose power, these are going to be dangerous temperatures, and don't hesitate. That's one thing I would say, don't hesitate, don't take a chance in this kind of weather. And these guys out here are going to be busy, working hard over the weekend, trying to keep the roads cleared for emergency vehicles, hospital, law enforcement, anybody that needs to be out. So the best thing you can do is stay home and let them get everything taken care of. Is that okay? I said that?
That's great. Yeah. And one other thing, we just were on the phone with the school superintendent and the transportation director. They're closing schools today. Parent pickup at 11:30, and buses will run at 12. They'll release the buses at 12. The courthouse will be closing at 1 p.m. today.
Courthouse, Fannin County closed at 1, 11:30. Pickup for Fannin County schools. Buses will run at noon. Got it?
That's correct.
Thank you, gentlemen. We know you're going to be busy all weekend. We wish you well. Stay safe out there, you guys too. I'm your host, BKP. We are live at the Vault in downtown Blue Ridge. We're not cold. I got the fire going. Hot coffee. We'll be back after these brief messages.